Hello, hello. Hi, everyone. Let's see. Let me tag some people in here right quickly. Y'all, come on. I have some things to share. I have a good one for you tonight. It's all about mindset. What kind of mindset do you have? Do you have a growth mindset? Do you have a fixed mindset? Do you even know what that is? It's okay if you don't. Please excuse the noise in the back. The boys are all playing the games and they're playing against each other, so they're having a boatload of fun. But yes. I'm trying to wait for a few more people to come in. Plus, I'm having some issues with my comments. Let's see. I could tag my people in here. Uh-oh. Hello. How are you tonight? I'm about to go ahead and get it started because I have a very powerful message for you. Some things for you to think about. Ooh, my big old finger in the camera. But anyway, I'm going to go ahead and get started. So it is episode 107 with the Small Business Network. I am Krissy Redding, and I am the owner of Toasting Canvases, which I am rebranding, and I'm branding myself. You will see it, everything eventually changed over to Krissy Vanity, which is also my pen name as well as my artist name. Hey Sean, how are you? Hey Dr. James. In the comment section, hashtag where you from, and if you're watching live or you're watching the replay. But I just want to kind of fill you in on what it is I do prior to me actually telling you exactly what a growth mindset is versus what a fixed mindset is. Some of you already know, whereas some of you don't know yet. But for those of you who don't know, I am a certified life coach. I am certified in life story coaching. I am certified in therapeutic art life coaching. And I am also certified in cognitive behavior therapies, life coaching. Now, that's where I'm going to begin with this. Focusing on mindset is part of the cognitive behavior therapies portion. And I won't say cognitive behavior therapies throughout the remainder of the live. I'll probably refer to it as CBT so that you'll know what I'm talking about. Basically, what CBT is a type of therapy that helps people deal with their feelings and their actions by changing the way you think. It's like untangling knots in our thoughts to feel better and to do better. Now, mindset. Let's talk about mindset. Mindset is basically how we see and how we understand the world around us and how it affects us and how it affects the way we think about ourselves as well as our abilities. And there are two main types of mindsets. There's growth mindset and there's fixed mindset. You have to excuse me. I'm going to lean over a little bit because I had some notes to make sure I didn't forget anything. So basically, the growth mindset is about believing that you can improve and get smarter through hard work and basically learning from your mistakes. We always face challenges. And when we do, if you have a growth mindset, you see that challenge as an opportunity to learn and an opportunity to grow. And you don't give up easily. Now, on the other hand, a fixed mindset, it just makes us think that our abilities are kind of stuck and you can't change them. You might even avoid challenges because you're afraid to fail and look badly, more or less. And it holds you back from your full potential. Now, CBT is the principle that our thoughts create our emotions, and they also influence our behavior. So let me repeat that. Our thoughts create our emotions, and they influence our behavior. So there's 3 parts I just named: thoughts, emotions, and behaviors. And they all work together and they influence each other. However, our thoughts of the three, our thoughts is the most powerful because they more times than not are the basis of our emotions and the basis of our behaviors. But the beauty of CBT, and the reason CBT is so powerful, is because we learn to gain great control over our thoughts. And we learn to gain great control over our emotions, and we learn to gain great control over our behaviors. So the sole concept of having a growth mindset is that you can change. You can, in fact, change your thoughts, and you can, in fact, change your behaviors. Let me say it just a little bit differently. You have the ability to change your own thoughts and your own behaviors. And if you don't believe you can change, you won't. It's simple. You just won't change if you don't think you or believe you can change. So people who have a growth mindset, they're more resilient. Now, what does that mean? So basically, it means they can spring back, that they can rebound, or in the words of my CEO partner, they're the comeback champions. You know, it doesn't matter whatever it is that leads them astray or leads them off the path that they're trying to go for, they spring back to where they're trying to, and they get back on path. So people with a growth mindset are better at coping with failure. Let's talk about that word. Failure is not, and I repeat, failure is not a bad thing. And I'll get more on that later. But the problem with failure is how you view it. Failure is a tool. It's a tool. It helps gauge what you might need to change, or if you need to change something. That's what failure is, a tool. It doesn't always feel good, but when used properly, failure is actually going to help excel you to where you're trying to go. But what is your relationship with failure? A person with a growth mindset has a great relationship with failure, whereas a person with a fixed mindset, maybe not so much, But fixed mindset people are quite the opposite of a growth mindset person. They're not as resilient. They don't bounce back as well. They are poor, and I hate to use the word like that, but they're poor at coping with failure. And they tend not to challenge themselves, because their flaws can be revealed. And I'm laughing because that was me. That was me. So anybody who's watching, I'm sorry, I can't see your comments, and whatever comments you may have, I'll try to respond to them afterwards. But if you know me and you grew up with me, there was a stigma around me from growing up and perfection. I was always looked at as a person of perfection. It was just a stigma around me. Everything had to be perfect. And my mother was the type of person, she instilled it in her children to strive for perfection. But I think for me, it was a little bit over the top. And I think people literally viewed me as that perfect person, that little Miss Perfect. And I was actually told that quite a lot growing up. And it, mentally, I didn't realize how much it had kind of drilled itself into my head. And I kind of have this thing, and I'm growing out of it now. It took me 30 something years to start growing out of it now. But I had this thing where I really just, if it's not perfect, I couldn't put it out there. And it would hinder me, and it would hinder my progression because it was just me. It has to be perfect. I just could not let my flaws, show themselves, because I was always seen as Little Miss Perfect. I was told I was Little Miss Perfect. So, I understand what it is to have a fixed mindset. So I can speak on this because I'm not that person anymore. That's something I'm working on. That's something I'm growing from, But a growth mindset operates off the belief that our basic qualities and our basic personality traits, and this includes our talents, that includes our intelligence, that they can be cultivated. And they can be cultivated with, with effort. And this means that all aspects of our abilities and personalities can be changed no matter what. And that's what a growth mindset person thinks. Now, a fixed mindset person, on the other hand, it believes that those very same qualities that I just talked about, those very same personality traits I'm talking about, are fixed at birth, or they might even be locked in once we reach a certain age. And that simply means, fixed mindset person believes that some people are just more talented and more intelligent. And that's just the way it is, And if you feel this way, it's okay. And I'm going to tell you why. You're not alone. This Western world culture and society we live in has played a major role in this belief system from the time we were young. Our education system emphasizes test taking and a grading system, And when we take that test and get graded, it's for that specific moment in time. There are some factors that don't, that aren't constant, that can play a role in when we take a test, especially as children, Children get, what's the word I'm looking for? Children, just like us, children go through things too mentally, They deal with depression. They deal with, it may look differently, but they're dealing too. So they're at school today and they haven't eaten breakfast. They had to run out the door because they overslept. They had a bad ride to school. There was just stuff going on. They get to school, it's a bunch of chaos. They get to class, the teacher's fussing because she's having a bad day. I mean, there's so many things that can play a role into us, or even children when we were younger, and even now, growing up with this test taking, and now you're taking a test and you're stressed. These tests don't factor in things like that. And I personally just don't think it's the best way to measure growth. But the problem is, it's a way to measure. But the problem that, I think it causes is that when it doesn't take into account that you can take this very same test years down the line and conquer it after you've learned and cultivated, more about this subject, and you might be in a better headspace when you take it again. It doesn't take into account none of these things. We're taught that these tests that we take, they gauge what we got up here, and that's it. That's kind of what they're doing, and it's not a good thing, it's something that if you're not aware, it can cause you to have a fixed mindset. I don't think it's done intentionally, but it does. Our Western culture is notorious for this. So when you do have this fixed mindset and you resonate with what I'm saying in this sense, you're not alone, and it's not your fault. Nothing is wrong with having a natural talent. And I say that because when we're taught that these tests gauge what we got up here, our culture is just the type that let's see what I want to say. Our culture is obsessed with natural talent. That's, I think, what I want to say. Our culture is obsessed with natural talent. And there's nothing wrong with natural talent. But with our society's obsession with having this natural talent, it causes this two things to happen and to go wrong. People who have to work hard to cultivate their skill sets typically far outwin the people who have natural talents in the long run. And then the other problem is that the obsession with natural talent is so important in society, in our society, that it discourages people from making the effort to actually work and develop their abilities. And that's exactly what's happening. Now, I'm not saying this is fully what is causing the fixed mindset, but it plays a major, major role in having a fixed mindset. So, people who have this fixed mindset believe that they will always have the same level of talent and intelligence, no matter how much effort they put into it. And they feel either they have, they either have it or they just don't. I guess that's the best way to say it. So they spend a lot of time trying to prove their abilities and approve their intelligence. And if they don't see immediate effectiveness, they just stop. They just stop, And effort becomes public enemy number one to a person with the fixed mindset. They're trapped because failure from their efforts is just so devastating. And that mindset has them believing that they're a failure and that failure is a bad thing, So if you are a fixed mindset person, I do want you to know that you can change and improve your talents as well as your abilities. You can change your characteristics. You can change your skills. You can even change your behaviors. Also, no one, absolutely no one, is 100% growth mindset and 100% fixed mindset. It's a spectrum. We fall on a spectrum. You can be fixed in one area, such as your ability to dance. You could have a fixed mindset about your ability to dance, but have a growth mindset in the area of intelligence. So I just wanted to come on here. I don't know who this is for. It's been resonating with me since Friday. I think this is something you just needed to know, and I hope this helps. I just wanted you and everyone else to know that understanding your growth mindset matters. It does, in fact, matter. If you want to develop your confidence, you have to first believe that your level of confidence is not, I repeat, it is not limited by your fixed mindset on the spectrum that you have, that you fall on your spectrum. So I don't know what more I can say about it at this time, but I hope this has helped. And I hope that it has touched the right person who needed to hear this, or the right persons that it was meant for. With that being said, I have to let you all know, as normal, I am part of the Small Business Network, and we have so much things going on that we would like you all to be a part of. If you're looking to be on TV, radio, have your own network, have your own podcast, not just Facebook Live podcast, but a podcast as well, talk to me. Inbox me. Let me know, hey, I'm trying to figure this out. I need some help. Let me know. We have a lot of things going on. We have a lot of resources. We have a lot of access to this. If you have a story you want to tell about us, a pain and pleasure story, pain and pleasures of working or having your own business, or an angels and demons story, a story where someone has done something to you or you've done something to someone, inbox me. Let me know. Myself, Sean A. White, on Facebook, Sean A. White, Dr. James MBC, Tina Kong, Roosevelt Russell, reach out to us and let us know, hey, I need a platform. I just want to be heard. Can you interview me? Can you put this out? We're here for this. So please reach out by all means. So I can't see any comments, and I do apologize here again. I will answer anything I see in the comment section afterwards. I appreciate you all taking a few minutes out to listen to me. Y'all have a great and wonderful night. Good night.